On this particular day, Eeyore was enjoying a peaceful nap in his home, while above him, Tigger was just waking up from a nap of his own.
It's time for some bouncing!
Hello everyone, it's Richard here. Thank you to everyone who is watching this podcast. In today's video we will talk about unique techniques for teaching English.
Right there!
That's almost amusing.
Tibor is here with me today, sharing his experiences from his class. We all know Alan Alexander Milne, the famous English writer, and his most famous piece of work, Winnie the Pooh. A great story for children. What can you use the story of Winnie the Pooh for in the classroom, and how do you use it?
I use the cartoon movie Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh by Walt Disney Animation Studios. How I use it depends on the age of the children I'm teaching. For first graders, it is mainly about fun. They enjoy the adorable and clumsy bear, his funny movements, singing and songs and dancing. Beforehand, I prepare coloring sheets for the students, and while watching the movie on the screen, they can color their pictures. At the same time, they listen to the English language, its pronunciation, rhythm, stress, intonation, helping them build a kind of vocal image. The focus here is on auditory learning. We also talk about the colors in the pictures, which adds a visual and interactive element. Brown. She's brown. Okay, what color is rabbit? Rabbit, raise your hand.
Yellow.
Yellow. What color is Winnie the Pooh? Vicky.
Orange.
What color is Winnie the Pooh?
Orange.
Orange. Good. Winnie the Pooh is orange. And what color is his t-shirt? Is his t-shirt? Red. His t-shirt is red. Red here. What color
That
is
sounds
the
great. Are there any other ways you use these short videos?
Yes, there are. There are several ways of utilizing these videos. In my third grader's case, we could practice the can modal verb. Martin. Tigger.
Igor pencil.
Mm-hmm. Ambrose.
Owl can fly.
Can fly. Hanna.
Robin can fly.
Good. Kinga. Piglet.
Piglet
Can't
can
fly. Emerson.
Eeyore can't jump.
Eeyore can't jump. Danny.
I believe that they'll still enjoy cartoon movies at that age.
Yes, indeed. Watching a 5-minute short movie can easily be incorporated in the lesson and often boosts their motivation, more than just turning the page in the workbook or in the coursebook. I still stick to the curriculum. Video clips aren't just for entertainment. They have to support our educational goals.
That's important. You see, watching videos are kind of a temptation to have fun in itself. You definitely need to figure out how they will help an educational purpose.
Absolutely. Sometimes I start a lesson with a short video as a warm-up activity, and then we move on to the main topic of the lesson. This way children might get involved without realizing that we are reviewing, we are learning, for example, the comparative and superlative forms of adjectives. Good. Csinska.
Piglet is shorter than Winnie the Pooh. Pooh is the shortest.
Good. Nusika.
Winnie the Pooh is shorter than Kanga. Piglet is the shortest.
Lily.
Kanga is slower than Tiger. Eeyore is the slowest.
Sunny.
The owl is faster than the piglet.
Panka.
Nem akarom.
Akkor ez most kimarad.
Thank you for showing me this very interesting class of yours, and for allowing me to talk about it. But now I have an interesting idea for you that I think you could use for such classes. We're going to look at two interactive storytelling tools on the British Council's Learn English Kids site, the StoryMaker 1 and the StoryMaker 2. These are fun, closed-type games that help learners create and print their own short stories.
All we need is a little team effort.
So what is exactly about this StoryMaker 1?
The StoryMaker 1 lets you create a fairy tale, a science fiction adventure, or a horror story by choosing key story elements, like the main character, setting, a problem and a solution, from jot-down lists. Once you've made your selection, the game fills them into simple narrative template. At the end, you can read your story on screen and even print it out for further classroom work.
How do you get started with it?
First, you need to click play now on the StoryMaker 1 page, then choose your genre, like fairy, sci-fi or horror. Answer the story questions, pick a character, princess for example, choose a location, for example castle, select a problem like dragon attack, and decide how your hero solves it. Generate and review. Click Make My Story, read it back and print if you like.
What classroom skills can this practice support?
You can use it to pre-teach and vocabulary, like, for example, mythical creatures, space terms, model sentence structures, and past tense narrative forms, encourage speaking, learners read their finished stories aloud in small groups, extend writing, ask students to illustrate or rewrite their story with different endings.
And there is StoryMaker 2?
There is.
Okay, what's the difference between them?
StoryMaker follows exactly the same process, but offers detective, fantasy, and adventure genres. You choose your genre, answer a similar set to who, where, and what happened, and how was it solved questions. Then click to generate the complete story. Again, you can read it, print it, and share it in class.
Any tips for using these tools with older or more advanced learners?
Certainly. After learners generate their stories, survey the class, for example, which character was most popular, expand the template, have them add dialogue or descriptive adjectives. Replay the process, invite students to write their own set of questions for a new genre, and use the printed story as a springboard. Students can write a sequel or transform into a comic strip.
So, that's the StoryMaker 1 and 2. Simple, engaging ways to get students thinking and writing creatively in English. Well,
Yeah,
have fun exploring.
But most of all, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Willy-nilly, silly old bear. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh.